Oh, what is up? I gotta get this live thing going. All right, there it is. Jesus Christ, it really does sometimes just feel like it's been forever since I did an episode by myself. It doesn't really matter if I did one by myself or not. Um, Danny from Portsmouth Nissan just messaged me on Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, I didn't see you today, but happy Veterans Day. You rock and thank you." First of all, Danny, thank you for for that, and secondly, you're welcome for my service. And thirdly, you didn't see me because it's Veterans Day. You didn't get mail. Um, that's what happens with federal holidays. It's like not getting mail on Christmas. It's kind of the same thing. Like imagine if you were like, "Hey, what the fuck? I didn't get any mail. It's Christmas Day or it's Thanksgiving Day. I don't get it. Why didn't I get mail?" I am on fire tonight. Just in my head, mostly, not actually on the show. Uh, maybe that's because we're only 60 seconds into this thing. But in my head, for the last hour, I've been doing this whole thing. I've been talking to you guys for an hour now, thinking about what I'm going to say. And I will tell you, for the last hour, it's been funny. Everything I've said in the last hour, it's been fucking hysterical. All right. I don't know if that's actually going to translate into the next hour of my life, but I'll do my best. As Danny just said, you're welcome for my service. First of all, you can see this giant flag behind me. It's because it's Veterans Day. Today is November 11th. This is the day that you thank me. Okay? This is the day that you thank my mate. This is the day that you thank people who are currently alive and have served in the military. Okay, there's basically like three American holidays that people get confused as fuck about. And I don't know why. We go through this every year. Social media has been a thing for at least 10 years, all right? And I'm being very generous in 10 years, all right? Because it's 2021. That brings us all the way back to 2011. I'm being very generous when I say social media has been a thing for 10 years. Because MySpace was a thing in 2000, like fucking 5, okay? I don't know when Facebook became really popular. I remember an iPhone. Yeah, it was an iPhone commercial with a goddamn pilot of an airplane who used his iPhone to get the weather. And I remember that commercial. I remember like a handful of iPhone commercials, and one of those commercials was like, "Say you really like Facebook. Well, you can use Facebook on your iPhone." As if you couldn't use it on any other goddamn phone that got the internet. All right. I can tell this is going to be one of those nights already. So anyways, social media has been a thing for at least 10 years. But I remember way back in 2004. In 2004, I was in Iraq, and I would send emails, group emails, to my friends and family. Anyone that I had in my email list, I'd send a group email, and it was like a status update, except it was a status update that everyone got. All right? Everyone got and they had to look at. Excuse me. Now you post a status update and people can just scroll past it if they really want to. Some people do, and I like to think that I'm pretty good about that. I like to think that I'll be scrolling my newsfeed and see something stupid that I don't agree with, but I'm like, hey, I like that person, you know? I might see, let me pull a name out of thin air. Fucking Rodney. I don't think that I have any Facebook friends named Rodney. I might see something from Rodney, and I'll be like, that is a stupid post, you know? He's talking about how the war on drugs is actually more about the war on COVID, and that the war on COVID is actually about how pro-gun control I am. And that is just a stupid post. That is just a really dumb post, and I don't like it, but you know what? Sometimes he posts really great memes that make me laugh my ass off. So you know what? I'm going to keep scrolling past that, and I'll be fine. I'm pretty good about that stuff. I like to think I am. I don't think that I've ever unfriended someone on Facebook because I didn't agree with whatever their political opinion was, social status opinion was, I don't, fucking sexual orientation. I've never ever once unfriended someone for that, or even accepted a friend request based on that type of thing. Most of my friend requests, especially these days, especially, in 2020, 2021, most of my friend requests that I do accept, I vet. You have to be someone that I know. You have to be someone that I kind of like, you're a cool person who I get along with, or, this might come as a surprise. I'm sorry, but anyone, I'll be a little light on this, and maybe if you think it applies to you, you can read between the lines. If you're someone who I think my mate knows, I'll ask her and be like, hey, is this a cool person to friend? And sometimes she'll be like, yes, definitely friend that person. And sometimes she might be like, you might want to think about that one. And I take her advice, honestly. She's one of the smartest people that I know, so why would I not take the advice of that? So anyways, I don't remember how that 6-minute rant started, but I can't see myself loving but anybody but you. Yeah, I'm wicked good at karaoke. I did karaoke a few months ago. It didn't go well. I feel like if I'm in my car singing along to a song, I do really fucking good. I don't know. I don't understand the difference between a car and karaoke itself. I think it has a lot to do with like reading the words. They're right in front of you, and you see them like turning yellow as you read them. You see them turning yellow, and you see the little bouncy dot thing move across the thing. My phone keeps vibrating. I think that it's my flight instructor messaging me. I'm gonna get to that later in this episode, little bit later. That's not quite on yet. I think that I can be in a, like, let me tell you something. I can belt out Don't Stop Believin'. I can belt it out in like a punk rock kind of way. I'm pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty good at Don't Stop Believin'. Bartender Song by Rehab. In my car, I sound just like Danny Boone. I am spot on perfect. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of the name of the artist now. I was just listening to him like 5 minutes ago, and he's huge. By huge, I don't mean he's a big hit. I mean he's a large man. He's probably like 400 or 500 pounds. He's huge. Maybe I'll think about that later. But anyways, his song, he does like a little fucking acoustic song. And that song I can do perfectly. I'll be loading my mail truck with my headphones on and just hit every note perfect. I'm singing right along. And I'm thinking all these mail carriers up and down this aisle right now, they are looking at me like, God damn, Donnie can fucking sing. Donnie is good. All right, Donnie would kill it at karaoke. No, Donnie does not kill it at karaoke. A few weeks ago, actually more like a few months ago now, we were at karaoke. I pulled out Bartender Song. I don't know why. I just figured it was the most likely song that he had on his repertoire, and that I might be able to sing, and didn't go so well. Matter of fact, went terribly. Now I wish I had asked for anyone else, any other artist. Maybe I would have done better with that. I do remember once in 2010, I was in Wisconsin by myself. I decided to go to a massage place, which was not an Asian massage place. I know, big surprise being Wisconsin, but nonetheless, not an Asian massage place. A white girl gave me a massage, and I asked her, hey, what can I do around here? And she was like, do you like karaoke? And I was like, I don't know, fucking sure. Is that literally that's the first answer? That's the first answer to what is there to do around here for nightlife. The first answer is, do you like karaoke at a bowling alley? I'm not joking. I wish I was. And that's what I got. I got karaoke at a bowling alley. I went to that bowling alley and I tried to do a Slipknot song from the Iowa album, and I had been drinking all night. And guess what? Didn't go well. Nope. I was like, that's basically how I sang that song. And I'm not even joking. At a certain point, I gave up and just knelt down on the stage and just held the microphone up to my mouth because I was like, whatever. The music is going and there's like 6 people here because it's a fucking bowling alley. All right. 10 minutes of nonstop ranting. That was good times. And I should probably stop snapping my little lighter that's in my pocket because I'm positive my microphone is picking that up. It is Veterans Day. It is November 11th, 2021. Honestly, snuck up on me this year. This whole year has flown by. 2021 has been a fast year. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. 2021 has absolutely flown by. 2020 flew by. I know that I talked about it last year. I'm going to talk about it again right now. I did not get on the bandwagon with every stupid person in 2020 that was like, oh my God, this is the worst year ever. I just want 2020 to be over. I want to go into 2021. It's going to be so much fun. Fuck you. Okay. The difference between December 31st and January 1st, it doesn't change a thing. Okay. They are the same. We still live the same life. Okay. I was about to say 1 year doesn't change anything, but I know that to be not factual. I know I know that the difference for me, Ed saying, Donnie, my buddy, thank you for your service. You're welcome. You're welcome for my service, Ed. I know that for me personally, the difference is literally night and day. And when I say night and day, I mean this is new moon. It's new moon, overcast, night and day. So there is no light. You know, you're walking through the woods. Like, I've thought about this so many times. I grew up kind of in the woods. Okay, I grew up in Fremont, New Hampshire. There's nothing there to this day. It's 2021. There's still nothing there. There's no fucking businesses. There's no real businesses. All right. My buddy owns a car garage that he literally has named the Car Garage, but that's because his last name is Carr. So I guess it makes sense. There's 2 stores. There's 2 stores. One is legit a general store. It doesn't have any gas pumps. It's a store on the corner of 2 roads, and they sell Twinkies and they sell Twix and they sell Coca-Cola products and they sell beer by the 24-ounce can, because when you live in a town like that, you know there's someone grabbing a beer when they're 2 miles away from home, because the whole town is 4 square miles. They're grabbing a 24-ounce can of beer on their way home for their 2-mile drive because they know they're going to finish it. I don't blame them. I don't blame that person. They're 2 miles from home. You know you're going to finish that beer. It's 2 beers. 24 ounces. It's 2 beers. You know you can do a beer a mile. All right? A mile of beer. Whatever you want to call it. Okay? My girlfriend's going to watch this before she gets home. And she's going to be like, oh my God, you drink already. And I'm going to be like, no, that's just me. I was just being who I am. That was just me being me. All right? I'm like Kevin James in the movie Hitch. That's just me being a little bit of me. All right? This is me as a better me. I am a way better me than I ever have been a me. My girlfriend, I always say that I hit the girlfriend lottery. All right, and that is true. I look at her, I see her in the hallway, I see her on the couch, I see her in the kitchen. Listen, some of you see her in the kitchen because I take pictures of the food she makes. You've seen, okay? I see this stuff, all right? And I hit the girlfriend lottery. She also, in certain ways, hit the boyfriend lottery. She maybe not the boyfriend lottery, but at the very least, she got the right model. All right, this is the best example that I can come up with. Okay, right now I am wearing a Samsung Galaxy Active 2 watch, a gift from my beautiful girlfriend, a birthday gift a few months ago. It is my favorite piece of tech. I fucking love this thing. Once upon a time, my little Alexa 8-inch Echo thing was my favorite piece of tech. It's been sitting in my truck for 3 months. It's not plugged into anything. I'm looking to sell the motherfucker on Facebook Marketplace. I don't want it anymore. I don't need it. What do I need it for? I don't need it. All right. It's cool. It is a cool piece of tech. But I can't. Living with Ro now, like I could see a use for it before when I lived in another town with a certain other person. I might be able to see a use for it when I had no one else to talk to. And I had this cool piece of tech that I could fucking talk to. I could be like, hey, Alexa, what's the weather today? Hey, Alexa, what's on the news? Hey, Alexa, can you tell me you love me? That type of shit. That's the type of shit that I could get from this piece of tech. And it was my favorite piece of tech. Even when I lived in Fremont, in my father's basement. That thing was plugged up next to my bed. And there were nights that I would spend alone. And I could be like, hey, Alexa, play fucking music. Hey, Alexa, how do I kill a dog? That type of shit. All right, I don't want to actually kill a dog. Let's make sure that we get that straight. But those are the types of things that thing was absolutely amazing for. I love this thing. All right, I did. All right, but I don't need it anymore. I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to why I don't need it anymore. Sort of, kind of. But anyways, once upon a time, Alexa was my favorite piece of tech. Now I have this watch. I fucking love this thing. The Galaxy Active 2 watch, if you can get it hooked up to your iPhone, which I don't know if you can, but if you can, do it. It's so cool. I fucking love this thing. But anyways, what I was getting at was Ro getting me was kind of like getting the best iteration of a product, right? So there's like the Samsung Active 1, and then there's the Active 2, which is what I have, and then there's the 3 and the 4, right? Like I'm like on, like me as a boyfriend, I'm on like iteration number 4 or 5, I think, and Ro has definitely gotten the best version of that. Like any other version that could go forward, it's just not going to be as good. There might be some things that you're like, oh, I don't know. I kind of like how you can push this button and it does this thing. But you know, I did like the version, but you know, I liked what I saw in the other version, but I don't like what I got. I know I'm going wicked fucking girl California voice. I don't care. She landed the like best version of me as a boyfriend, in my opinion. Anyways, I don't know. She didn't know me before, so I don't know if she could necessarily speak to that. Whether or not she thinks that I have, but I think that I have. I think that me at 39 years old is way better than me at any other age before 39. I feel better than I ever have in my life. I think, anyways, I can only say this because I've seen pictures of me 10 years ago and 20 years ago and just barely over 20 years ago. Like 22 years ago. In the last 6 months or so, I've seen pictures of all these iterations of me, of my body. And me now, I look better than I ever have. I feel better than I ever have. I'm more positive than I've ever been. I have a great outlook on like the future. And I look at, you know, Jesus Christ, 2 years ago, I wasn't looking at the future. 2 years ago, someone did ask me. I think it might have been a counselor, but nonetheless, 2 years ago, someone did ask me, what does the future look like? And I was like, I don't know, fucking black. It looks like nothing. I look at the future and I see fucking darkness. I don't see anything there. I don't know what's there. I have no idea what's coming. I have no hope for the future. I don't think that things are going to get better than they are. I just, you know, I don't have any dreams. I don't think of anything. And now, I don't know. Hey Ben, Ben Carter checking in on the comments. Ben, I was looking at my Facebook memories today. I saw you pop up, and I thought, there's a guy that I don't think is on Facebook anymore because I never see you comment on anything. You never comment on anything. So where the fuck have you been? Did you unfriend me? Is that the problem? Did I say something offensive? I hope not. I assume not, because Ben is he's pretty cool, and he doesn't, like, we align on a lot of things anyways to begin with. So it would have to be a pretty big stretch for him to unfriend me. Plus we went to high school together. I don't think you're allowed to unfriend your high school friends, right? Aren't you? Isn't that like a rule? I think that's a Facebook rule. I'm sure it's in the terms and conditions of using Facebook. If you accept a friend request from a high school friend, you're not allowed to unfriend them. I'm sure I'm not making that up. Anyways, where the fuck do I start? I'm 20 minutes into this and I don't know where to start. Once again, today is Veterans Day, and wow, what a day I have had. Let me pull out one of my Zen pouches. I am just about 2 months into this whole not using Skoal anymore. Talk about cool. We went to, I think that I talked about this 2 months ago, but I'm going to talk about it again because guess what? It's my show. I'll do what the fuck I want. About 2 months ago, me and Ro went with our friend Kim and this guy to a little thing here in New Hampshire called the Rochester Fair. And I'm going to shorten it up because I think I have told the story. Long story short, this guy used these little things called Zen pouches. I know as I held this up to the screen, I already knew that I told the story because the green on the packaging blends in with my green screen, which means that I'm holding it up and you're seeing, like, you know, it weird, all sort of weirdness. Ben says he's back and he hasn't checked out Facebook in ages. So Ben, you're gonna have to go through like a year and a half or so of my Facebook and just like everything. Okay, I've changed. All right, in the time that you've been gone, my life has changed. So go catch up with me. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, this guy hands me this Zen thing, and he's like, here, try one. So I tried it, and I liked it, and yeah, 2 days later, I ran out of Skoal. I went to the store, I bought one of these, and works great. There's no tobacco in it. There's still nicotine, so I'm still using it, because I guess I'm still addicted to nicotine, which is, you know, that might last a while. I don't know. I have no idea how long that lasts. They come in 6 milligram and 3 milligram, and I bounce back and forth between the two. But yeah, I haven't used Skoal in 2 months. So, anyways, moving on. Got up today. Earlier this week, I should back up just a little bit. Earlier this week, I ran a lot in one day. All right, I ran it was almost 7 fucking miles. Holy shit, 7 miles. Never ran that far in my life. Never. I think that the most I ever did in military basic training was 5 miles of running. All right, we did like ruck marches that were a lot more than that. They were like 25 or 30 miles, because I know we did a 30K, right? So 1K is longer than a mile, right? Well, 3.1 miles is a 5K. Yeah, so 1K is longer than a mile, right? So I think that we did a 30K ruck march, which is like, what, 22 miles or something like that. But running, I've never run 7 miles. It was just shy of 7 miles what we ran the other day. But yeah, my buddy Chris, who I was in the military with, I got all these posts. If you follow my Instagram, Adulting Donnie, it is basically just filled with workout shit now. It just revolves around, hey, this is what I did at the gym this morning. That's pretty much what my Instagram is, all right? And again, it's Adulting Donnie is my Instagram. So that's all. It's basically all it is. It's just running. Whatever my workout thing was for the day. I try to throw in some motivational shit here and there. And for those of you who don't know, which is like everyone on the planet minus 3 people. Well, I guess if you include Roe, it's minus 4. So minus 4 people. I post these things on almost a daily basis of like, hey, get the fuck up and go fucking do something. Hey, why aren't you, you have no reason to be doing this. Why are you doing it? You're kicking your own ass for no reason. You could be laying in bed right now next to your girlfriend. What the fuck are you doing? Hey, why did you bother to get up and run this morning? You could have, been watching a Netflix show. Hey, why are you chasing a dream? You don't need that. You got a job. You got a job that pays you money. You don't need to chase any sort of dream. This is the type of shit that I post on Instagram and Facebook on a daily basis. And there's only 3 people that I'm talking to. One of those people is myself. One of those people I'm just like, I'm kind of talking to myself. I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Go punish yourself. You stayed up last night, and I'm drinking tonight, but I haven't had a beer since Saturday. I haven't had a drink since Saturday. And today's Thursday night. And not for any particular reason, just because I've been losing weight. I've been fucking dropping weight in a big way. And I know that if I stopped drinking entirely, or at least cut it back to like weekends, like Friday and Saturday night are my drinking nights, I could cut off even more. And I'm already seeing those results. Just taking 4 days off of drinking entirely, I'm already seeing those results. So, anyways, I'm talking to myself mostly. Once in a while, there are 2 other people who I am talking to. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to point you out. I'm not going to say who you are. Chances are you have 0 idea who you are. But know this, I know who you are, and I'm talking to you. I'm either I'm saying, hey, you got to be more positive and fix your own fucking life, or I'm saying, hey, there's a reason that, you can't find your own mate, and it's because you're a lazy piece of shit who likes to watch Netflix instead of working on your own self. That's kind of what I'm saying. But anyways, so I've been, I went through this plantar fasciitis from March and all the way until I didn't get it addressed at the doctor's until July. And I finally get it addressed, and they gave me a cortisone shot, which felt great. Not when it happened, not the actual needle part, but within an hour of getting that shot, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm better." I think I gave it 2 or 3 days, and then I started running again. And about 2 weeks later, because I had a follow-up appointment, 2 weeks later, I go back to the follow-up appointment. And by the time that came around, my fucking foot is killing me again. And the doctor's like, how you feeling? I was like, oh, it felt great for the first couple days, but now it hurts again. And I tell him I've been running again. He says, okay, I'll give you another shot. Why don't you go ahead and take 2 weeks off from running? These next 2 weeks, why don't you go ahead and take that off? So, okay. And so he gives me the shot. I take the 2 weeks off. And as the 2 weeks comes to a close, I start running again. Because I can't stop. I can't help myself. I just got to do it. And so I run 2 days before my next appointment. Hurts again. He gives me another shot. Says, why don't you wait until it doesn't hurt? I want you to get the shot. And I want you to wait until it, I want you to wait the 2 weeks and then go without the cortisone shot and wait until it doesn't hurt before you start running again. So I ended up having to go from early August all the way up until about, 3 weeks ago, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago is when I started running again. And it sucked. It sucked so bad. I'm at the gym every goddamn day. I'm on the row machine. I'm on the treadmill. Not the treadmill, the bicycle. I did the elliptical all of 2 times. My girlfriend, God love her, because I love her more than God ever could, if there is such a thing. Excuse me. I love her. There's no but to that sentence. I love her. She suggested the elliptical, and I tried it. I just cannot get into it. I understand what she's saying. She's telling me like, oh, it's a full body workout because you're using your arms and your legs at the same time. I just can't get into it. And I see these people in the gym. I see some of these people that are on there for an hour, on the elliptical for an hour. And I did it 2 times, and I did it a long time ago. I did the elliptical a long time ago, and I got into it then, and I would do it. I would be like these people. I'd do it for 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. I even considered, I never ended up doing it, but I did consider way back then going in once and watching the entire NASCAR race while on the elliptical. You know, the NASCAR race is like 4 hours long. I considered just going in and doing the elliptical for 4 hours. And you know what? I think I could do that with just about any, well, maybe not the row machine. I don't know if I could do that with the row machine, but the bicycle and the treadmill, I still think I could do that. Go in and use it for 4 hours. You know, if it's the treadmill or the bicycle, I guess, either one of them, I'm not going to maintain the same speed as I move through this thing. You know, if I'm on the treadmill, that's the easiest way to describe this. If I'm on the treadmill, I might be able to maintain, you know, an 8.5, 9 minute mile for a little bit, and then slow down to a walk, and then pick back up to a run, and slow down to a walk, and just go back and forth. But I have absolutely no doubt that I could do this for 4 hours. It's, you know, to me, that's no big deal. I genuinely think I could do it. But the elliptical was just, I don't want to. But anyways, so doctor tells me wait until, you know, the foot feels better. Wait a few more weeks before you start running again. So I pushed it off and pushed it off. I literally pushed it off until I couldn't fucking take it anymore. One day I went in and I got on the bike for like a minute, and then I was like, I can't do this again. I just gotta get on the treadmill and do it. I got on. It wasn't too bad. I ended up, you know, I took a few more days off, like a week maybe. And then one day I got on the treadmill. I was on there for a minute, one whole minute. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going outside. And I went out and started running downtown. And, you know, I'd run downtown Portsmouth, and it's beautiful downtown. I love downtown Portsmouth, even at 6 a.m. And this poor motherfucker, there's this guy who I can't imagine I don't think he dislikes me, but I also don't think that he likes me. He has no reason in the world to dislike me, but also no reason in the world to like me. But either way, he goes to the same gym that I do. And I noticed that he stopped going. Now, I don't think that that's because of me. I don't think that he stopped going at all. I think that he might have just changed his times. And I don't know that has anything to do with me. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I think that it just has to do with he's just, you know, for whatever reason, he had to change his time. Maybe he goes earlier in the morning than I do. But this one morning I'm running downtown, and I run right by him. Like, he's sitting outside of a coffee shop having a coffee at 6 a.m, and I happened to run by him. And I was like, oh, this poor bastard. He just can't get away from me. So anyways, so I'm like, let's see here. Yeah. Ben saying rise and grind. Rise and grind. That's my thing, man. Rise and grind. Every day you'll see my posts. They end with rise and grind. Every day. That's how I do. Rise and grind. So anyways, my friend Chris, guy from the military, you know, getting way back. God damn, I keep getting way off track. I don't care. My friend Chris, he messaged me about a week ago, and he says, well, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. He says, hey, where do you run? And I said, in Portsmouth. And he says, let's go for a run sometime. And I don't like running with other people. I haven't run with another person since the police academy. Actually, that's a lie. In the military, I ran with other people because I went to the police academy, and then I, re-enlisted in the military, and and I would run with people there. And but either way, I haven't run with another person in a long time, and I don't necessarily like to. I like to run alone. That's kind of my thing, just to run alone. And I just like to put my headphones on, zone out. The last few weeks I've ran listening to a book. I've been listening to the Harry Bosch series of books on Audible, and the Lincoln Lawyer series. I've been listening to all that stuff. So I don't, sometimes I listen to music or motivational quotes or some shit like that. That's what I listen to. And I just like to put the headphones on and fucking shut the world off and kind of just, put one foot in front of the other. No big deal. But he messaged me, and he's a buddy from the military. And on top of everything, he was one of my squad leaders. How am I supposed to say no to that? He was one of my squad leaders. So I gotta live up to that. I'm out of the military. There's no fucking reason for me to be doing any of this. There's no reason. I don't have a job that requires me to have any sort of physical fitness. My girlfriend doesn't fucking sit there and say, "Oh, you need to get in better shape." Like, she's never once, even at 280 goddamn pounds, when I was disgusted with myself, she never once looked at me and was like, "Ugh, I don't want to fucking touch you." She's never done any of that. She was never like that. We fell in love. I think we fell in love before we met, to be honest. We did a lot of talking on Facebook, and before we ever actually met in person. And honestly, it took, the first hug was like, I need more of this. For me, anyways. I can't speak for her entirely. I think that she felt a lot along the same ways. But for me, anyways, that first hug, I was like, yeah, I need more of this. I like this. I like this a lot. I like this human interaction. You're way better than an Alexa Echo, aren't you? But anyways, so Chris messaged me. He says, "Hey, you want to go for a run? You want to go run the loop? Run the Newcastle loop." Newcastle is an entire town. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it. And the night before we go run, I don't have a general idea of the loop that he's talking about. The night before, I measured it out on Google Maps, which wasn't perfect, but it was pretty close. And I measured it out, and it was 6.8 miles. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of miles to put down for a guy who 5 months ago couldn't run a quarter mile. Back in mid-late June, I guess. I was going to say early July, but more like mid-late June. When I first started going to the gym, I'd turn the treadmill to like a 11-minute mile, which is slow as fuck. That's slow. That's barely above like a fast walk. Like, I think that if on the treadmills at Planet Fitness, if you set the thing to like 4.5, I think you're close to an 11-minute mile. Maybe if you set it at 5, you're at like 11-minute mile. And it's slow, and it's like that weird, it's that weird gray area where you're not walking. You're very clearly not walking, but you're barely at a jog. So that's where I was when I started, and now I'm fucking, like, if you asked me to go out, I don't want to, but if you asked me to go out and do a 16-minute 2-mile run right now, I could probably do it. And honestly, that shit makes me happy. When I'm running and I hit a mile, and my watch, my Galaxy Active 2 watch, pops up and says, first mile, 8 minutes. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm pushing 40 years old, and I'm doing a 2-mile lap faster than what the military would require of a 21-year-old. That shit makes me happy. I'm doing a mile and a half faster than what the New Hampshire State Police would require of a 21-year-old. Like, that's the type of shit that makes me happy. It's stupid, and I don't care. That's the type of shit that makes me happy. But anyways, so yeah, Chris asked me to run with him. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Okay, so we did that. That was fun. So anyways, getting back, Jesus Christ, 40 minutes into this, I'm finally coming around to today. Today has been such a big, awesome day for me. So get up this morning. It's Veterans Day, so I get the day off from work. I can get up a little bit later. Most days I try to get up around 5:15. Today I slept in until 6:30, and because I didn't technically have anywhere to be, but I had some plans that I wanted to accomplish. So set the alarm for 6:30. I get up, give my love a kiss goodbye, tell her I'm going to see her in the afternoon because I knew I would, and take off, go to the gym. I crushed 3 miles. All right. I was a little pissed because my buddy Brendan has been commenting on my posts. And yesterday he posted that he did 2.5 miles in like 19 minutes and 50 seconds or something like that. And I tried to get there. I commented as much yesterday. I was like, look, you may be faster than me on the treadmill, but I'm going to crush you on the road. But I tried to get there. I think I did like 2.5 miles it was like 21:30, or not 21:30, 20:30. It was like 20 minutes and 30 seconds. I did 2.5 miles. So, but I mean, it still makes me feel good. I got to, on the treadmill time, which is always a little bit longer. Treadmill time, I got to a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. I got to a 5K at like 26 minutes and 30 seconds, which is faster than I did a 5K 4 years ago. I did a 5K 4 years, like an actual charity event 5K 4 years ago. It's 2017. I did a charity event 5K back then, and my 5K was like 27:15 or something like that, 27:20, somewhere in that general vicinity. And I mean, I was happy with it. I was 9th in my age group, which surprised me. I was like 55th overall. Again, kind of a surprise. Not great, but kind of a surprise. The number one in that particular race was like 16 minutes. Some fucking crazy neurodecelerated freak did 3.1 miles in 16 minutes. Okay, what is that? Like just over that's like 5 minutes a mile. Yeah, that's like 5 minutes a mile. All right, you're gonna burn yourself out on a Saturday for no reason. But anyways, got up, did that, did some body weight stuff. Went around and did a few different weight machines. A few weeks ago, I was getting changed in the living room, and Ro gave high compliments to my quads. And so, the problem with Ro and I is that if she compliments me on anything, I'm going to do everything I can to accent that thing. So she compliments me on my quads. The next day I'm in the gym looking at all of the machines that work on the quads. So went and did that. Then I went over to Fremont, where my darling Ruby, my darling Ruby, my one of my other loves. All right, I got a handful of loves. All right, the love of my life is my mate. Then there's Graphite, my cat. He's amazing. He's such a great cat. And then there's Ruby. And Ruby, for those of you who may not know, Ruby is my snowmobile, my 2021 Polaris Switchback Assault. Love my snowmobile. And she has been sitting in captivity. She spent the first half of the summer inside of a storage unit, and then the second half in my father's fucking project house basement. I guess is the best way to put that. I don't even want to call it a house. I don't want to call it his house. I don't want to call it anything other than project house. That's exactly what it is. It's a project house that honestly might never get finished. It'll probably always be a project house. But Ruby spent the second half of the summer in there. And I was at my storage unit, because I have a storage unit here in Portsmouth. I was at my storage unit the other day, and I was like, I think that I can fit Ruby in here. It's a little small, the storage unit. It's a little small, but I think that if I rearrange some of the stuff that's in there already, I can probably get Ruby in here. So I'm going to break her out of captivity and ride around with her on the back of my truck for a couple of days. I gotta give her a good bath. She needs a good washing. I'll get her washed up, and then I'll put her away in that storage unit for hopefully only a few weeks. I have done plenty of looking at snowmobile trails in the area. I messaged Ro the other day and said, hey, I'm thinking, over the winter, as long as there's snow, I'm gonna, there might be days when I get out of work and I'm like, hey, I can get out at 2 today. I'm gonna bail, and I'm gonna have Ruby on the back of the truck, and I'm gonna run up to Rochester or Dover or something like that. And sorry, I got messages. I got so many messages. I got to, anyways, sorry. I look at my phone, which is not a great way to do a podcast, but I don't care. It's my show. I'll do what I want. I was just telling her, like, there might be days when I want to run up to, Rochester or Dover or Durham or whatever. There's a couple trailheads up there. I'll unload and I'll go explore the area. As long as I can get out early enough and, probably come home around 7 o'clock or so and tell you all about it. It's just cool to have our own shit. She has softball, and I go to most of her games, but I miss plenty of them too. I can't make it to every single one. Sometimes she has games especially on Saturdays, especially when she's like, oh, I have a game in Connecticut this Saturday at fucking 10 a.m. Well, yeah, I'm not going to make it to that one. Or when she goes down to Virginia or Maryland. She was supposed to go to Georgia a couple weeks ago, but that ended up falling through for reasons we won't discuss here. But that ended up falling through, and if she'd have gone to that game, then it would have been like, okay, have fun, I love you, but I wouldn't have been there. Although easily, like, when it comes to the things that happened over this past summer, hands down, without a doubt, top of that list is going to Virginia with her to watch her play. It was just so much fucking fun. I loved going to. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna coach her teams one day. But anyway, so I go to Fremont today. I pick up Ruby. She's sitting on the back of my truck right now. I had to make some adjustments to my little ramp that I put in the back of my truck. I posted it in a snowmobile group on Facebook, and immediately someone was like, "Hey, what's the ramp that you're using to store your snowmobile in the back of that particular truck?" Because snowmobiles don't really fit in the back of a Toyota Tacoma, and so I took a picture, which is cool. Like, I took a picture last year, like last February or March. Someone saved the picture to their own phone and then posted it in a Toyota Tacoma group. And then someone else took it and posted it to my Facebook page, thinking that I had no idea what this was. I'm like, that's my truck. That's my snowmobile. Like, what are you talking about? I fucking know what this is. I just thought that was cool. Like, I came up with this little idea, other people are charging thousands of dollars. I've looked at systems used to put a snowmobile in the back of your Tacoma, I've looked at those systems and they're $1,500 to $2,000, and I made this thing for, I think I'm into it for like $150 right now, maybe, give or take. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that you should ride around with 400, 500, 600 pounds in the back of your Toyota Tacoma, but I am, and the Toyota handles it just fine. So, and I'm up over the wheel wells. Everything's safe. Everything's tied down right. Maybe worst case scenario, I could use a back rack, but that's about it. But anyways, so I went and got that. I went and did that today. And then, all right, winding down the show with the most adrenaline-packed part of my day. I flew an airplane by myself today. I did. Awesome. I flew 2 weeks ago with my boy Mikey. So this whole thing has been in process for about a year now. I started just over a year ago, about a year and 2 weeks. All right, we'll call it a year and 2 weeks, maybe 3. I was flying with Mikey, this guy Mikey. I was flying with him, and we, I scheduled this fucking flight probably 3 times before finally fucking flying with him. I scheduled it with him 3 times, and every time that I was about to go and like the day came, he'd call me up and be like, dude, winds are too high. I don't think that we should go up today. Finally, we went up. And the first time that we went out, that me and Mikey went out, he did all the radio, from the time that you left the hangar, he did all the radio. He kind of stood he didn't even stand next to me. He walked me through pre-flight inspection. So he was like, okay, this is the leading edge of the wing. This is what we're looking for on the fucking tires. This is what we're doing with the propeller. Like, he walked through everything. He did it all. And I kind of just stood by and watched. And then we taxi out. He does all the radio control. We get out to the runway. We take off. He handled takeoff. We get up to altitude. And then when we got up to altitude, he says, okay, now it's your plane. Go ahead and fly. And all I have to do is hold the stick. I mean, once you get up to cruising altitude, it's actually pretty easy. You're just kind of holding the stick and watching for traffic. And, there's a handful of things to go through, but for the most part, it's pretty simple. We went out to not to Kittery. We went out to somewhere. We went out to some fucking lighthouse somewhere. I forget where it is. We went out to some lighthouse in Maine, and we flew around it, and then we flew back to Portsmouth, and we got about 10 miles from Portsmouth, and he does his thing. He took back over. He did landing and all that shit. He kind of walks me through it as we do all that shit, but. As far as he's concerned, I can't blame him. This might be my one and only flight. This might just be like, oh, I've always dreamed of taking control of a fucking airplane, and now I have the goddamn stick. I'm sure there's plenty of people like that. In fact, I know there's plenty of people like that. I think the intro flight for CHI in Portsmouth is like $99. For $99, you can just go and fucking get in an airplane, and you can fly around. Ooh. So, as far as he's concerned, this might be my only flight. But while we're in there, he's like, look, I'm a big guy. You're a big guy. Might be better in the future if you fly with Jack. Jack weighs a little bit less than me. So less than Mikey. Also less than me. Sorry, Jack, but it's true. So my next flight was with this guy, Jack, and first impression of Jack was, that was kind of my first impression. And it was mostly because I wasn't wearing a mask. So we're talking October 29th, 2021, 2020. I missed both years. I said 2019 and then I said 2021. It was neither of those. It was 2020. So it's October 2020. We're still mask phase. Literally no one at CHI fucking seems to give a fuck at the time or today. But they're like, look, there's mandates and fucking, we don't want to get in trouble. I get it. It's a goddamn business. Okay. There's certain things. So, when I was with Mikey, he didn't give a fuck. Jack comes up and he hands me a mask and he says, hey, can you just put this on? So yeah, sure. But we're inside the building, a giant airplane hangar nonetheless, but whatever. But then we walk outside, and as soon as we're outside, he's like, you can take that off. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we flew the plane, no mask. We're in closer proximity inside the plane than we were outside, when we're in the hangar. But as soon as we're outside, he's like, you can take that off. But for me, I was like, look, I just want to fucking fly. So I don't care. Give me the goddamn mask. I'll put it on. And then Jack ended up being this fucking incredible instructor. Jesus Christ. He was so much fun to fly with. First, and he was just so good. I don't really know how to explain it. There was no he was a no bullshit guy, and he was just encouraging and patient. I have no idea how old he is. I want to say mid-20s, probably 25 or so. He was just no bullshit, just encouraging, just, this is what we're going to do today. I'll never forget. I think it was my second lesson with Jack, so my third lesson overall. I show up and he goes, do you like roller coasters? I'm like, yeah, sure, I like roller coasters. He's like, okay, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to practice stalls. And that's when I learned about stalling an airplane, which to me, not fun at all. I fucking hate. I don't mind. So there's a thing called power on stalls, which is when the plane is at full power and you're pulling the stick all the way back so that you're facing straight up. Not straight up, but you know what I mean. You're angled really, really high. And then all of a sudden there's just not enough air pressure beneath the wings to give you enough lift to keep going up into the sky to get more altitude, and the plane will just kind of drop, right? And with the power on, when you're at full power, that's a really easy thing to recover from. You just kind of lean the stick forward, no big deal. Power off stall, there's you get the engine at idle, and you're doing essentially the same thing. You're pulling the stick back so that the plane is angled up and you're just not getting enough altitude. Excuse me. And then the plane loses that force underneath the wing. I am dumbing this down, so anyone who's ever been a pilot, you're probably screaming at me right now. You're probably like, you're not giving enough information about how it works. All right, I'm trying to dumb it down for those of us that don't know everything. So power off, you get the engine at idle, and there's not enough lift under the wing to keep climbing up, and it dies down, and there's a bunch of other shit that's going to go into that. Now you have to apply rudder control, and you have to apply full power, and you have to get the fucking thing moving again, and it's just a nightmare. I hate it. But either way, I start flying with Jack. We move, we went throughout through the rest of the fall, all of winter, all of spring, and then early July, he gets a job with an actual airline, and I show up to do a training with him one day, and as soon as we get in the plane, we start taxiing out, and he's like, I got the job. I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, now what? What do I do now? And he's like, all right, so no big deal. Okay, you've done a bunch of training with me. You're basically ready to go up by yourself. You're probably going to end up training with Mikey. So Mikey, again, backwards to the person I started with. He says, you're probably going to end up training with Mikey. You go up to a few flights with him, and you're ready to solo. Like, Jack was super encouraging. Oh, he was so good. He is still so good. He's messaged me 4 times since I started this podcast tonight. But he was like, dude, you're gonna be fine. I'll put you with Mikey. You're gonna be good. And I went up with Mikey. I did, that slow flight that I just talked about that I hate. I did stalls with him. I did power on stalls, power off stalls with him. I did steep turns with him. I communicated with air traffic control. I did all this shit. And the last time that I went up with Mikey, so that was 2 weeks ago, I went up with Mikey and we just worked on landings. That was all we did was landings. And when I finished up with him, he was like, all right, dude, get your 3rd class medical, get that done, which is just going to a doctor and saying, hey, are you clear to fly? Just going to a doctor and saying, hey, whatever. Get your 3rd class medical, and you're there, man. You're ready to solo. So I did that. And side note, that was fun. First of all, this doctor's office was it was in like a shopping plaza. I'm not even joking. Underneath this doctor's office was a yoga studio, and the business next to it was a hair salon. It wasn't easy to find because I looked at these 2 businesses and I was like, okay, this whole building is just these kinds of businesses. And I'm not even wrong, because the rest of the building was businesses like that. It was more fucking hair salons, nail salons, and yoga studios. So, but anyways, I went to this doctor's office, and and it all goes well, right? I get a piss in a cup. It starts off with me pissing in a cup, and it's not even a drug test. It's the test for diabetes. So they're just checking your protein levels and your sugar levels, and I came back all set, which was comforting. That was good to know. So I get all that shit done, and the last thing this guy has to do, this is what I hear. Now, I know what he said. I know what he said is what he said. I don't want to give too much away. What I heard was, I have to check your prostate. And for me, I'm thinking, 39 years old, makes sense. Got to check my prostate. All right, fine. I've had that done before. When I enlisted in the military, they had to check my prostate. It's not a fun experience. I'll give you that. It's not a fun thing at all. I remember that doctor being like, hey, don't tighten up. But so this doctor says, hey, I gotta check your prostate. I'm like, and he goes, it's not too invasive, don't worry. I just need you to undo your pants and give me some room, I think is what he said. Like, give me some room, or make some space, maybe something along those lines. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And I see him snap on a rubber glove. I'm like, all right, here we fucking go. So I undo my pants, and I start to pull my pants down to spread my ass cheeks. And he goes, no. No, I just need to check for a hernia. And that's when he reached down the front of my boxers and just, kind of checked around my ball area. So he just kind of, feels around down in that area, and that's it. But I was like, oh shit, to me that would have been funny if he turned around to grab like a rubber glove, and then he turns back around and I've got my asshole shown at him. I'm standing there like, come on, just do it. Just get it over with. And he's like, I don't need to go that far. But anyways, so get my 3rd class medical done. All signed off on that. I go today after I get Ruby on the back of my truck. I go to the airport, and then Mikey comes down and he goes, dude, sorry, man. Something came up. I got to cancel our lesson today. I was like, come on. Because I've been in my head for days about this. I've been thinking about this. I've been fucking worried about it. I've been just, losing my mind. I mean, maybe not losing my mind, but I've definitely been like in my head, like, how am I going to do? I know I'm getting ready to go up by myself. I'm getting ready to go solo. I'm getting ready to go take an airplane up with no one in the passenger seat. How am I going to do? I know that my landings haven't been perfect. I'm getting worried for the last few days. And finally, now today is the day. I'm ready. I've been thinking about it. I texted Jack last night, said, hey, you got any last, words of advice? I'm talking to Ro about it all night last night. I'm telling her, I don't know. And honestly, the biggest thing that she said to me was one simple sentence. Because she's asking me, like, how do you feel? And I said, I don't know. I'm fucking nervous, whatever. I'm going on. And she was like, it sounds like you feel like most people feel the night before a big job interview. And everything just clicked. When she said that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel. I've had those nights. I've been through those nights where it's like, I have a big job interview tomorrow. And I'm trying to mentally prepare for it. That's exactly how I felt. The night before, I was like, last night, I'm thinking that's exactly how I felt. Just, it's the night before a big job interview. Am I going to get the job? So I get there today, and then Mikey's like, I gotta fucking cancel. And as much as I wanted, and maybe even thought, or maybe that's vice versa, that's what, I was thinking, great, I can go home, I can go hang out, I can fucking, play video games for the next few hours. I just saved myself 3 hours on the day. I was also like, I was ready for this today. I was ready to go do this. I was planning for this. I knew I was ready. And now there's nothing that I can do. And Mikey's like, I can probably hook you up with another instructor if you want to go up with them. I was like, yeah, okay. Why don't you see what you can do? Because I'm here. I already, I'm ready to go up. I want to go fly an airplane. Let's, even if I'm not going to solo, fine, fuck it. I can at least go work on landings. And so he goes and he talks to her, and they give me the stuff to go do pre-flight anyways, just in case. And so I go do pre-flight, and while I'm out doing pre-flight, I'm talking to this other girl, and I was like, yeah, I was hoping to solo today. And she's like, I think that's what they're inside talking about right now. And then Mikey comes outside, and he talks to me. And he's telling me about why he needs to go home, why he needs to leave, why he had to cancel the flight today. And I was like, yeah, dude, it just sucks because, I got that third class medical. I've done everything. I was hoping to solo today. And he's like, if you think you're there, I can talk to the other instructor and they'll go up with you and do a couple landings. And if they sign off, I'll sign off on your pilot logbook. If they sign off and say you're ready, then you can go. Then you can go and do a solo. I was like, all right, let's do it. And he was very strict about it. He was like, look, you need to know if they say, hey, I didn't like the way you did that landing, I don't think you're ready, you have to go by that. Like, I understand the disclaimer he's putting forward. But he says that, and I'm like, I get it. That's fine. If they say, hey, you need to do more, then fine. But I'll tell you this. The way that it was going to work was we were going to go up and do 2 touch and go landings and 1 full stop if I was ready to solo. If not, then me and this instructor would have just kept going around in circles doing touch and go landings. When we did the first 2 touch and goes, we take back off, and this instructor, her name's Sarah, she goes, let Tower know that the next landing is going to be a full stop landing. So now I know she's about to sign off on me going solo. I already know. I already know ahead of time. I couldn't get back to that runway fast enough. I was like, get me the fuck down there. I want to go now. I'm ready. I want to get you out of my plane, and I want to go up in the air by myself. I need to do this now. So I dropped her off. I had to go back through a bunch of pre-flight stuff on the checklist and do all that. But I mean, it was just, I finally got out, and I got out to the runway. I'm sitting there. I got no one with me. I told Ro last night, I'm talking to her about like just that feeling of how weird it will be of once I commit to going full throttle on the engine and the wheels coming off the ground, that's it. I'm in the air and I have no one. I am there by myself. It is on me to get this plane back on the ground in one piece, functional, and able to get back to the hangar. Like, it's on me. I don't have a choice. I can only do it this way. And this girl, Sarah, she told me, make sure that when you taxi out, let air traffic control know you're a student pilot on your first solo. They'll be there with you for it. They'll make sure that they know. That makes sure that they know that, kind of keep an eye on you. And I did my first touch and go landing and came back around, and then did a second full stop landing, and air traffic control said good flying out there, which I appreciated very much. And then I get onto the taxiway and contacted ground control, and ground control asked me how it went, and I said it was really awesome. And it was just fucking cool. I got back to the hangar and I was crying. I cried. I couldn't help it. I was so overcome with emotion by the time I got there. I get back there and I'm trying to do all of the engine shutdown stuff, and my hands are shaking because I was just so overcome at that point. And I can see out of the corner of my eye everyone that works at CHI coming outside to see me. And I can see this girl, Sarah, who had been up with me in the plane. She's taking pictures, she's taking video, and I opened up the canopy on the airplane, and I couldn't help myself. I was crying. And I get out of the plane and I had to lean against the wing, and I couldn't even talk. I'm trying to tell them, like, I just never thought this was something that I could do. I have been a failure at so many fucking things in my life. I have failed over and over and over. And I have chased dreams so many times. Have I chased a dream that I failed at, that I got close to? Like, I imagine like those people that like climb rocks, like those people that like it's a straight up and down rock, and in Arizona or something like that, and they just want to get to the top, and that's all I wanted to do. I just want to get to the top. And in my entire life, I have been so good at getting 60% of the way and just giving up and just not reaching for, even if I knew that I could get to the top, even if I knew that I could throw my arm and inch out the last bit of strength to keep going, I give up. I give up so much in my history. In the history of my life, I always gave up. And to get to this point, to fly a fucking airplane by myself and know that, like, this is not the end by any means. This is not the end for me. I am going to keep going. I am going to keep flying. I'm going to get my private pilot license. And one day I'm going to put fucking Ro in the passenger seat. And she's going to sit there with headphones on, listening to me talk to air traffic control while I fly around New Hampshire, while I fly her from here to Maryland in 3 hours, you know, shit like that. Just everything hit me all at once while I was outside the plane, and I just couldn't stop. I'm just crying outside the hangar, and it was just so fucking cool. And people who I've never officially met are giving me handshakes, and God, it was just such an awesome moment. And then especially, and then Ro is there. Like, first when I get out of the plane, one of the employees there at CHI was like, "Oh, that's my mate right there."
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
What's up, pilot?
Hey, baby.
What's up, Maverick? What's up, Top Gun?
Hi. Thank
I
you.
don't know if you need another one.
Thank you. Yes, I did.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What's up? How's your feet on the ground? How's the boots on the ground?
I don't know. I want to be back up in the air. I didn't tell you that.
I saw you flying.
Yeah, you did. I was just getting around to talking about how the girls were like, "Oh, your girlfriend was here, but she left."
Yeah.
They didn't realize you were outside recording video of me.
Right.
Yeah. On my Instagram on Adulting Donnie, I didn't post the videos. There's pictures there.
Yeah.
I didn't post the videos,
Yeah, you're
but
like this big up there.
Yeah.
Itty bitty.
I'm more like your commentary. Yeah, I threw some cologne on after my cigar. I came home from my flight.
Silver birch. Is
Had it was stuff that you got me.
I know.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Hey, I wear the stuff that you like.
Big birds, right?
How's your girls' night?
Good. It was
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. We went to the mall. What was left of the mall?
Yeah, what's left of the mall?
What's left of the mall. So that was fun. I walked around.
Did you stop in and see my girls?
I saw them from afar.
From afar.
They're still big. I ate something from Whole Foods. We went to
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, just like some chicken curry salad.
Oh, yummy. Yummy.
I have some food down there because I had like French fries and
Yeah.
now I'm gonna eat real food.
I had a well done steak from Applebee's.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to tell you about some of the characters that I saw at Applebee's.
Me telling you I'm coming home.
That is my Life 360.
I'm
My Life 360 ratted me out while I was on my flight and said that
106 miles an hour.
106 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Ro completed a 1 mile drive, top speed 29 miles an hour.
My Christmas paper.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't tip stuff. I can't.
So there is.
Careful. Watch the beer.
Sorry, but there's a Santa shortage. I saw that on the news.
A sandwich store?
Santa
Santa.
shortage. And
You had me really concerned that there might be
cranberry
a sandwich shortage.
No, but there was a cranberry. So I went to Market Basket this morning, and I heard somebody asking about sauce, and so I was so curious that I was like, "What are you looking for?" Because I can find anything, anywhere, any
Yeah,
store.
you can. You're my hunter-gatherer.
That's right. And so she said they're all out of cranberry sauce. I go, are you serious? So when I went to check out, because remember, like, the other night, I was going through looking for cans of, like, corn or something. And I'm like, I got, 2 cans of cranberry sauce. And then, anyway, I went through the line and asked the cashier, I go, hey, I heard this, lady saying that there was no cranberry. She goes, yeah, there's a shortage. We don't have any in the store. I'm telling people.
How's that possible?
I'm telling people they should
How's that
try
even
Walmart.
possible? Because this is not
listen.
something that should be a shortage because of a goddamn ship stuck in the ocean.
It's not a shortage. This house, 'cause I hoard the right stuff. I was gonna put
Be
that
careful!
on the-
No. This house doesn't have anything. We don't have anything.
Listen, you can catch some
We don't
cranberry,
have food. We don't have guns. We don't have
cranberry
anything.
Expiration 2023. The Ocean Spray, the good stuff on eBay
On
for
eBay.
$100 a can.
That's right. Yes,
I'll probably be that person that donates it to charity.
you will be actually.
Come on, son. Come on, child. Child got me the rat butt. So yeah, there's that, and then they said there's a Santa shortage. So, but in the mall's ready for it.
Well, that's because nobody wants to work.
Well, I don't know, but there's a.
That's because Santa doesn't even want to work. Santa's on unemployment this
They
year.
might want to work in the mall because they did something spectacular, and they put the snow globe thing in front of where you sit with Santa, so it's gonna look like you're sitting with Santa in a snow globe. And I think
Wow.
that's the first time I saw that.
So the mall in Newington doesn't have a Santa?
Well, Well, not yet, but
Not
they
yet.
have a setup.
Not
for
yet.
this,
Okay.
All the cats are coming in. Jeez, get out.
Is Catspur here?
I don't know.
No,
How's
Catspur only
your
sits in the
feeling?
bed.
All right, so I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm going to be
you
done
were-
here in just a few minutes. I'm just wrapping up.
You were talking about. Oh yeah, you get to go in the hangar. They're like, you can go out there.
Yeah,
You have a badge.
yeah, you
I
get
was
to,
like,
yeah.
I do have a badge. I
And
totally
you
forget.
got a Peas Pass.
I got a peace pass.
Peas Pass.
Yeah, I can go on the tarmac. What's up?
Yeah. Good boy.
All right, I love you.
I love you more.
Fun show.
Did you see have you watched it at all?
No.
Did you see my background?
I did see the flag.
Yeah, my background.
God bless America.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's
Veterans
my shower
Day.
song tonight.
I love you.
I love you more.
I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, babe, take your time.
I'll be right
Bye,
down.
fans.
Yeah, so I get out of the plane, I'm a ball of tears. I could barely talk. Like I was just so blown away that I did it. I couldn't believe it. And I said, like, I didn't think this day would ever come. And you know, I wonder if they thought I meant like, oh, you know, I'm never going to get to solo. It wasn't that. It wasn't that I never thought that I'd get to solo. I knew I would get to that point. But when I said I never thought this day would come is just like, I've been, you know, since I was 14, I wanted to fly an airplane. And I've flown an airplane in the past year. In the past year, I've been able to fly an airplane. I've just had a person next to me who could take control if I needed it. And I was just so blown away of like, I did this. This time I did it. And now, you know, my instructors have signed off saying in the future, I can go up by myself. I can go up and I can land the plane by myself. And I can take off by myself, and I can go up, and I can go as high as, you know, there's these restrictions they put on me, and that's fine. I don't mind the restrictions, especially, you know, I looked at the restrictions. I'm perfectly comfortable with those. I think they make absolute sense. But I was just so overcome with emotion. I couldn't even talk. I was like, I didn't think this day would come. I was smiling from ear to ear. And I'm trying to talk to them, and I couldn't. And but like I just said to Ro, one of them said your girlfriend was here, but she's gone, and she wasn't really. I thought, you know, because it's like 3:30 in the afternoon, so I'm thinking like she came, she's, you know, took some shots, and she had to go back to work, and I'm thinking she went back to work, and the reality was that she actually went back outside to a better viewing point where she could take some pictures. And then she came back in, and one of the guys was like, hey, do you want to go outside on the tarmac? You know, she was in uniform and everything, and she has a pass she's allowed to be on the tarmac because of her job. So she went outside, and I was able to get pictures with her, which is, hi.
I saw Justin at the mall. I forgot to tell you.
Yes, that's right. Justin was there. Yes. I'll get there. I haven't even done advertisements. But she was able to come out on the tarmac, which honestly, I don't think most people get. Like, I've never seen a solo. Like, I know that CHI is gonna post the picture of me getting my first solo, but I don't know that I've ever seen anyone who's been able to have their significant other out there with them, because they're not supposed to be, like, they're not typically allowed to be. My significant other, on the other hand, has permission to be out there on the tarmac with me. So it was just awesome. I mean, I went out, you know, me and Ro left the building. You know, we go back inside, and part of the tradition of doing your first solo is getting the back of your shirt cut off. So Ro did the cutting for me, which, again, another thing that most people don't get. Ro cut my shirt for me. And then her and I leave. You know, I said, hey, okay, good night, and I leave the building, and we went out and sat in her police cruiser for a few minutes and talked, and I told her kind of, you know, Cliff Note version of everything that happened, and then she left, and I did, like, you know, the obligatory Facebook post and Instagram, and stories and all that bullshit. And I mean, I just sat there thinking like, God damn, I can't believe that fucking I can't believe I fucking did it. It's been 6 hours now since that happened, and I'm still sitting here thinking, I can't believe it. I cannot believe I got to that level. I did it. I had a dream. I followed through, and I'm nowhere near done. I'm not even close. I'm not even remotely close. I don't know what comes next. I'm excited for it though, and for once in my life, I'm excited about the future. You know, not for once in my life, because I've been excited about the future for a year and change now, of just like, what is tomorrow going to bring? And yeah, I already know that tomorrow's going to be a shit show because of work. But like, what does tomorrow night bring? It's going to rain all day tomorrow. It's going to be fucking miserable at work. But I get to come home to this wonderful life that I love. You know, shit like that. Just, it's, those are the things that make me say at the end of every show, like, call the suicide hotline. And I don't even want to do that specifically anymore. Because you can text virtually anyone. I could pull up my contacts right now. I'm not going to, because I don't want to, because I don't need to. But if I pulled up my contacts, my any contact in my phone right now, I could scroll through and just randomly select anyone at random and just be like, hey man, what's going on? Or hey woman, what's going on? Whatever, you know, pick your pronoun. And then wait for a reply. And then if I get one, great. Or I could text a few people, call a couple people. The suicide prevention line is 1-800-273-8255 if you really wanted to. But I don't even know that I recommend that as much anymore. I mean, I guess maybe if you get 0 replies. But I can tell you that this Veterans Day of 2021, for me, is going down in history. This has been the best Veterans Day. I'm an hour and a half into this show. I didn't even get to scratch the surface, really. I mean, I kind of gave you Cliff Note versions of everything that happened. I didn't even get to touch on all of the excitement of Applebee's. It was great. It was really fun to go to Applebee's. But like I said on the last episode, Adam and Eve, if I want to get paid from Adam and Eve, I gotta do a minute of their website. But you can check out my other sponsors, 4HM Clothing, Mile High Angel, and Manscaped.com. Mile High Angel, the promo code is adulting. You get 10% off your order. 4HM Clothing, offer code is adulting. Get 10% off any order over $50. And Adam Eve. What is going on Adam Eve? I can tell you right now. I get their little ticker scrolling by. They got a nice semi-interracial couple here. It looks like a black woman with kind of like a mixed race man. What I don't like on this guy is he's got like hair on his chest. I don't know. It's just never been a thing for me. He's got a lot of hair on his chest. And I'm glad that I don't. But the image that it's attached to, the link that it's attached to, is 5 sex toys men want women to own. So this is supposedly 5 sex toys men want women to own. One of those is a vibrating penis ring. I don't know why men would want women to own that. Vibrators, that makes sense to me. Bondage toys. I think I've said it before. Let me get through the rest of this. Vibrating panties and anal toys. Now, why would men want women to own these? as a man, from my point of view, I can tell you that I want my lady to own a vibrator. That makes sense. Why I want my woman to own a vibrating penis ring, that concerns me more than anything. Why is, and who's doing the math on this? Because wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. Okay, there are 5. All right, good. All right, vibrators make sense to me. Vibrating penis ring doesn't make sense to me. Bondage toys, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I feel like my listeners probably with me. I'm going to go with yes on probably with me. It doesn't matter which side of this you fall on. Do you want to tie up your girlfriend? Do you want your girlfriend to tie you up? Ro has maybe done like some light bondage on me with the tying up portion. Handcuffs have never come into play. I'm not sure that I would want them to. I just don't see the appeal to that. Let me just take a look at what the options are here. When you click on the bondage toys, you get beginner's bondage fantasy, which looks like a lot of ropes and tying up and stuff like that. Adam and Eve Scarlet Couture bed bondage system, more tying up. The top 4 are all tying up stuff. Eve's Fetish Dreams beginner's bondage set, looks like a blindfold. I don't know that I'm into the blindfold. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's there. Like, why wouldn't you want to see what's there? Why would you not want to see what's going on? Chain me up kink clamps. The clamp thing, never done anything for me. Couture spreader bar, not something I'd be interested in. We got some more ties, more handcuffs, more what's the word that I'm looking for here? Shit. I can't think of the word. Things to cover your eyes. Just not something that I'm into. Sex swing, not, again, I remember 20 years ago hearing big things about the sex swing. Just not something that I'm, like, I've never seen a video using a sex swing, but it just doesn't make sense to me. None of the bondage stuff really makes any sense to me. I don't get it. So why that lands in the top 5, don't get it. Vibrating panties. I don't know. Unless I can control it, I guess that makes sense. If you hand me the controller, that's fun. Anal toys. So anal on women, from my understanding, doesn't do anything. That's more of a guy thing, which is fine. It's fun, but why do women need anal toys other than to say, "Hey, I'm into anal"? I guess the reason that it lands in the why guys would want this is to just be like, "Hey, look, I'm open to this." But on the contrary, a woman could just be like, "Hey, I'm into this." Like, it could be that simple. Okay, I'm into this. And then you can skip all of the toy part. But anyways, if you want to go to adameve.com and buy any of these things and use offer code adulting, you can get 50% off any one order, or I'm sorry, any one item, plus 10 free gifts, free DVD pack, gift for him, gift for her, gift for both of you, free shipping on any order that you use offer code adulting. They also have award-winning customer service. You can call that customer service line. It's 1-800-765-2326. And you can call that line and be like, look, I'm 1,100 feet off the ground right now, and I don't know how to land an airplane, and I just need some help landing this airplane. And they're gonna be like, sir, this is adameve.com. And you can be like, look, I don't care. I don't know how to land this airplane. Can you tell me, am I supposed to use some rudder? There's a wind shear going on. I don't know what to do right now. Can you help me? And their award-winning customer service will give you the help that you need to get back on the ground. And then lastly is Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Offer code adulting gets you 20% off your entire order plus free shipping worldwide free shipping. So all right, that was a long episode. I'm almost an hour and 40 minutes into this. I gotta fucking wrap this motherfucker up. You can find me, Adulting Donnie, on Instagram, Adulting with Donnie Podcast on Facebook. You can email me, adultingdonniepod@gmail.com, if you have any thoughts on tonight's episode. On tonight's super extra long episode. Oh, that was the other thing that I was going to say. I know that I used to do these episodes so much better. I used to be so good about putting out an episode every week, fucking Friday, Saturday. I used to always record episodes every week. And that is because I was in a position in life where I had literally no one to talk to. The whole premise of starting this show was because I had these thoughts that would go through my head during the week while I deliver the mail. And I would just have nothing else to talk about. I would just, I would gather these thoughts in my head and I'd have nothing to do with them. So I thought, I'll start a podcast and I'll just start talking. All these thoughts that go on in my head, I'll just talk during the week. Or I'll just talk on a podcast, rather, for an hour and get all these thoughts off my head. And that's because I had no one to talk to. I would come home from work, I would cook dinner for this fucking psycho. And then I would sit at my chair and drink bourbon and watch movies and play video games and watch videos on YouTube for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. I can't tell you how miserable I was. But I was absolutely miserable. And I was telling Ro the other night, the reason that these episodes are so inconsistent now is because I come home and I want to talk to my girlfriend. I actually not only have someone that I can talk to, I have someone that I want to talk to. It's kind of what has caused me to not be as consistent in recording. So, but that said, I'd like to have Ro on the show with me more often, to sit here next to me like she did the last episode. And shoot the shit with me, because she's just fucking fun. She's just so much fun to like sit and talk to, and I say dumb shit, she gives me weird looks, we laugh, it's fun. Last night, closing things up here, last night we watched Spider-Man Homecoming, because can you believe this? She never saw it. She never saw Spider-Man Homecoming. I can't necessarily blame her. If I remember right, she watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies and she watched the other guy Spider-Man movies and was like, there's been fucking 5 Spider-Man movies and they all suck. They're not good. I can't blame her for passing on the Tom Hardy ones, but I was like, you have to watch these. They are good. They're absolutely very good movies, and so you really need to watch them. So we watched Spider-Man Homecoming last night. Next up is Spider-Man Far From Home. And coming up in 2022 is going to be Spider-Man fucking No Way Home or Nowhere Home or whatever it's called. It's something stupid home. It's awesome dating a girl who loves the Marvel movies as much as I do. And movies in general. She's as much of a cinephile as I am. She loves watching movies. I found out today that there's a new sequel to Big Trouble Little China coming that stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Can you fucking believe it? Oh my God. Jason Almy, so mad about that. He is so angry. And I am excited. I'm glad that I saw the Kurt Russell one. And I love Kurt Russell. I'll watch anything that he's in. But that movie was a piece of shit. All right? Jason, you're going to shit on me for watching fucking Transformers or whatever, or not wanting to watch 80s movies or whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm going to shit all over your favorite movie. Big Trouble Little China, shit movie. That is a shit movie. The movie was goddamn garbage. I'm glad I watched it. Goddamn garbage. I'm glad I watched it for the specific purpose of being able to say that movie is goddamn garbage. So, okay, bye.